Well, Saturday night and I didn't get paid, fool about my money and I didn't get laid. Mark says, well, well, let's have a go. It's Saturday night and it's time to do the show. I'm GPS. And I'm GPS. I'm still GPS. Nothing rhymes with GPS. And I'm GPS. And this is the show. Yeah, so thanks. Today's show is going to be on Saturday. That's my new schedule. I figured that Saturday is the best way to do the show. So welcome to this episode, GPS 152. It's the Powerjack for the Pyro. Yeah. Oh, God. If you feel like today's episode was rushed, you're absolutely right, because I didn't wake up in time. There was a lot of replays. A lot of them were long, and I forgot to buy stuff before the store closed. I had to run while I had the stream going, but that's fine. That's cool. We're here. We're alive, and we're fine, and we're absolutely dandy on this Saturday night where we're not, well, most of us not getting late anyway, but maybe you are, if you're lucky. Not the one I wanted, but that's fine. So we're going to look at the Powerjack today, which is a weapon for the Pyro. It is a replacement for the melee. Just go over the stats real quick, as soon as they will load. Actually, we can just look at it in-game. Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Let's see it. Powerjack. When weapon is active, that's important. When it's active, which means when you're holding it. Kind of like the gloves running ordinarily, you run faster. You take more damage, but you don't do any additional damage. But you get 75 restored health on kill, and that stacks into overheal, which is nice. So that is the weapon for today. It's a Pyro, very useful weapon. It got very much nerfed in the previous patch that was a while ago, so we're going to be looking at today, see how it plays. If you are Puff and Sting Pyro, which is mainly just using the extinguisher and, you know, degreaser and stuff like that, this weapon might feel a bit foreign to you because it's a very different. But hey, you run faster when you hold it, so it's kind of like the knife in Counter-Strike, and we will kind of emphasize on doing that today. Like, focus on, like, movement is very much the key to this thing. So if you're wearing this and you're not constantly using it when moving around and stuff like that, you're kind of doing it wrong. So we're going to play on a 5 CP map. We're going to be playing on Cold Front here. Just ran to the point really quickly. Enemy team is not here as of yet, which is really good for us and really sucks for them. So let's see if I can get... do we have outlines, by the way? Yeah, there we go. We have outlines. We can see stuff through the walls. Excellent. Using this to run and grab some health kit. Ah, a little flank going on here. I also use the reserve shooter because it gives you faster weapon switch. And then we kill heavy, get more health back, which allows us to tank more damage, and then eventually die to rockets. But that was like a short introduction to how it's used. When you get a melee kill, you get your health back, and you can kind of stay in combat longer or escape. That totally depends on you. So that was like just a very, very basic thing. So now we're going to look at how it works on defense. Is what we're going to do, because moving faster on defense is nice, but it's not necessarily what you're looking for. Always speed is kind of always in the favor of the attackers, not necessarily the defenders, but that doesn't mean you can't use it, you know. But on defense, we see most Pyros usually run the home wrecker and just assist. Engineers, for the most part, have a heavier kill him. We get the overheal, which is nice, allows us to tank a bit more. This weapon also randomly crits, which is the best feeling in the world if it's us getting the crit, not if you're receiving the crit from someone else. That is very much important to note. Let me just get everything up here. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Heavy, just blasting him off the cart. Very standard Pyro play there. In areas like these, Pyros are very much useful. Because, like, right in this area, if you're a Pyro and you have, like, enough ammo, you can pretty much air blast players back as long as you want, because there's like this little ledge here and you can just push them back. They go like boop, and then they have to run back up, and then boop, and then they have to run back up, and stuff like that. So it's very good, very nice on defense, very nice usage of the Pyro Air Blast. If you're using the back burner, it might be a bit harder. So today's episode is not necessarily to say which combination is best, because it's like on your own taste. I tried a bit with the flare gun, reserve shooter, and the regular shotgun, and I had no real presence. But I just feel like using the degreaser for my kind of style is not necessarily recommended, because, you know, the degreaser does less burn damage, but it has faster weapon switch. But I don't have like the extinguisher or crits when the enemy's on fire. So you don't do as much damage, but you're a bit more resilient if you get the kill, and if you're very much used to using the standard flamethrower and you're really good at estimating damage, like how much damage you do and how much damage the opponents are, like if they're weak and whatnot, you can really bank on this. But if you're used to being a degreaser puff pyro, using this weapon can be pretty much a bitch. Because it's like so different from the other, and it works totally different. But also, keep in mind when you run faster, but you also take more damage. It's not as much as the gloves running urgently, because you take mini crits, but you take like 20% damage, I think. Let's see how much mini crit is. I'm gonna search here. I think mini crit is like 25%. No, it's 35%. Okay, so mini crits is 35%, so you take 20% less, 20% more damage, which is not as much as mini crits. So, math. So that was just some usage on defense. So now we're going to look at how it works on 5 CP maps. From my experience, it works best when you're on attack and when you have flanking capabilities on the map. If the map is very choky, you don't necessarily... What the hell is this up in the corner? Get this out of here. Add spec, medic, enabled 0. There we go. Now it's not here anymore. Aha. So we're going to be using this on payload... control point... Foundry, yes, that's the name of this map. So we have another spy here. He's using this bicycle. And one thing a lot of pyros don't really know these days is that you don't necessarily have to air blast. Like, just burning players until they die is absolutely fine, and it's a valid strategy, and you're not bad for doing it, even though people go like, oh, WM noob. Usually they just say that after you kill them. But here's an example of when using air blast is really good, right? So we have this spy here. He's been using the Spicicle, so he has no knife, but he's also using the Dead Ringer. And I'm kind of just burnt. Oh wait, we can't actually see the fire because I started mid-fire, so it bugged out. So let's just back it up a bit. Okay. So we start burning the guy here. That's the first spy. We kill him. Yeah, very nice. There's another spy here. We use, like, as soon as we're moving again, we pull out the Powerjack. This is very important. As soon as you have the ability to do that, you do that. So we start to burn him, and he is now on fire. He has no knife, and I noticed that, you know, he wants this health pack, so instead of just trying to burn him and kill him before he grabs the health pack, because maybe he's like a really good spy and can avoid me, like, there's like a 50-50 chance he can like escape at this area, because he can like grab the health kit. He can either jump down or jump up or stay there, even though it's in this situation it's very unlikely. But just to be safe, you know, just a little air blast him away, and then burn him, kind of deny him that health pack. And this goes for a lot of classes. Like, if you can just push them away from where they want to go, you will be in your favor. So another pyro here, we take him out. And as soon as we're going to run again, we pull out the Powerjack, and just when you're grabbing the health kit, just pull out your shotgun and reload there. It's like maximizing your damage and effectiveness. And don't be afraid to attack, especially soldiers, because you can just reflect like that. Sniper is going to burn him, doesn't stand a chance. And when we grab a health kit, we reload our weapon, reserve shooter, or like I like to call it, reverse shooter. Only has 3 in the clip. So, heavies are good against pyros, regardless. So if you attack a spun-up heavy that is firing head-on, you're going to die. So we're just going to go in and just not really do all that much. So right now we realize that, hey, as a pyro, like, there's 2 heavies. Well, there was 2 heavies. Well, there's 2 heavies. There's a bunch of red guys, so if I went in here, it would be like a 5 versus 1, which is not ideally for me. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to try the other flank here and see what's up. So I'm going to roll around over here using the Powerjack. And hey, as a Devil Man. Kill him, maybe get the melee kit, maybe not that important. See a soldier, push him into a corner, shoot some shotguns. Of course, the reserve shooter does do mini crit damage when the players are in the air. So if you use 3 shots or less to kill him, it's very much recommended. So then we're all up back here again, and we see that we can't really do anything, so let's go back down. We also have a medic here that we want some heal from. Hopefully he will heal us in the near future, which is always nice. There we go, get some heals, check the back, and actually miss the heavy. And we spent a lot of time, we mentioned in the last episode, where it is to focus on helping your team. And just standing around, looking around, and just seeing what your team is doing can really help that. As a pyro, you can really add to your push, because if, like, setting in a pyro first, an overhealed pyro with a push is just really good, because you can just push everybody back, clear sticky traps, and maybe even suicide yourself a little bit. But then again, you're not invincible, and heavies just screw you over regardless. So it's nice to have like a sniper friend or a spy friend to get the heavy. So speed is key, right? Speed is good. Speed is nice, so that's what we have it with here. So we are going to be using speed to our advantage, but we're not necessarily going to dish out as much damage, but our survivability is going to go up, even though we take, 20% more damage holding this weapon. That's going to be the focus of this one. Where we just run, this is like the start of a new round, so we're pretty much the first guys on the point here, because keep in mind, you do run faster than a medic holding this. Not by much, just a little bit. So you run like... somebody looked that up on the wiki. Speed. Speed, I think it's 115%, and I forget what medic is. So we're just going to burn him and burn that guy. Now our team, our team is capping the point. There they are, capping the point. We are way the fucking front, right? Like, we're alone, only with a spy. And I know that, because it's currently me playing. So, I know that, so just gonna go out here and do some cleanup work. There's a weakened heavy. I can kill him. I can assume, because he's close to the rest of my teammate, like the death ball of my team, I can just assume that they have done sun damage to him, and I can just attack and kill him because, just assume that he's taken damage, alright? But if I ran towards him and he's like kind of a fresh spawn, like a new spawn player with a lot of health, you would assume he has full health. Assuming health is also very important. And taking out soldier, and there's another heavy, and bam! Yeah! That's what you get for checking. Oh! Fucking sentry! Oh, okay, so as a pyro with a reverse shooter and the flamethrower and the powerjack, I can't do shit about that. Like, I literally, like, look at this. I can't go close. I might be able to, like, do some sneak around stuff on the side, but, that's really risky, because engineer can just strafe down and just shoot me when I do that, so, and I've also taken some damage. I just tried to do some pot shots on my thing, and I was like, yeah, soldier friendly, let's see if we can do something together, and we do kill some stuff, but we still haven't been able to do anything with that sentry, so we're kind of just pinned down here. There's another pyro. We do take him out, and the sentry's now level 3. Soldier has retreated. I'm all alone. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to stay in this area anymore because I'm all alone. And there's the sentry, and I can't really do the push. And we have a scout here who's going to face the wrath of the sentry. Wow, he exploded. And then we're going to retreat to our team and try to do some regrouping. I have another powerjacking pyro, and yeah, going powerjack against a flamethrower is not your best choice. So he kind of fed me there. Some feeding for those of you who play games where you can actually feed the enemy. If you're low on health and a powerjack pyro kills you, you know that you've given him health pretty much. And here's a team. Finally, we go in with the push. The sentry is still up. We're in a way better spot now that we have our team with us. Gonna be working on the spy, and the engineer actually picks up the sentry, and I'm like, oh, come back here! Out of the way! Out of the way! Boosh! Random crit for the win, and another random crit for the win, just to be sure and go on the point. Try and air blast people off, but hey, we took down the engineer, get the sentry, and did a lot of stuff. And actually put people on fire and really like started the capture on the point, which really like stirs up the hive, where you can just, where the enemy team is really forced to be on the defensive, and then like the huge death ball of your team just comes in and just wrecks their shit. Wrong one. That's the right one. This one is called misjudging damage, and that is a mistake you can do if you think your enemy is weaker than you think. Because with the Powerjack, if you want to really capitalize on this, you gotta have a really good feeling of how much damage you can take and how much damage you can dish out. Is like the key. So here we have we're just spy checking. Oh, it's a scout. Shoot him once, and oh, soldier on the roof. Blast him down. Yeah, there we go. And shoot. Okay, and okay, we're capping the point here, doing some spy check, checking the heavy and the medic, protecting them against spies, which the enemy team has one of. So that's good. I thought I was going to sneeze. Never mind. Moving on. Let's see a scout here and just try and get... Okay, he's going to go away. Okay, here he's back. Okay. A sniper. Okay, we're just going to hit once and two... oh, fuck. Just hit him. Fuck! That's really misjudging damage. I thought I would kill him in 2 hits. But he had like 15 health when he survived, so 2 hits with the Powerjack wasn't enough to kill him. Didn't get a random crit. That's bullshit. That's some bullshit. So let's look at the next one, where it's just pretty much just a generic play. And I want you to pay attention to how much I'm using the Powerjack. Like, in every situation where I am able to use the Powerjack, I use the Powerjack.
The control point is being captured.
When I'm not reloading my weapon, when I'm just moving around and not, like, intending to do damage. It's like we see a spy. And he's actually dead ringing. Listen to this.
Captured.
I'm like, alright, looking for... Can't hear him. Okay, maybe he's dead. I heard it. Ah! Got him. Important to listen for that dead ringer sound. That is very nice. Doing the reflex on the soldier. Let's take a look at that again, because I do like to brag. Oh, that was a very indeedly good reflect there. Reflecting them lasers, you know, because lasers are weak to compression blasts. So if the enemy attack, if aliens attack us, just be sure to pack a can of compressed air, and you'll shoot the laser. Back. Shoot the lasers back. So here we are. Okay, here comes the soldier, and slow down. What was it?
Teamwork.
It's one of these. Okay, there we go. Reflect. Boosh. I got my soundboard in order. Fuck, come on. There we go. So just hanging around. Oh, engineer stops in front of us. Reflex. It's important to get that timing down. That is like the mastery, being the last air blaster. Very important as a pyro, just in general, in order to be able to do that. So we're just hanging out in the medic, getting the heals. We're with the demo man, just looking around. And you can also do the same as Guru skipping, if anybody remembers that. Before the Guru was nerfed in the way that you don't lose health continuously, you just take mini crits, is that you could jump and then swap your weapon in the air, and when you landed, you put up your gloves originally, and you jumped again. You can do the same thing with this thing. So if you have the reserve shooter, you switch weapons faster. So when you're on the ground, you switch to the Powerjack, and then you jump, and then you swap to your weapon. And when you land again, you swap to your Powerjack, and you jump, and you pull out the flamethrower or shotgun or whatever. And you can just jump like this, and it's kind of like simulating the same effect as you get as a heavy if you jump and spin up your gun. You get like the more momentum, you get closer, and stuff like that. And that is something you can master. I haven't seen a lot of pyros do this, but I think it's going to be more common later once like players figure out like to do this without really thinking. Because you can just, it's just jump and press Q twice. If Q is like your last inventory weapon, and you always have like your melee on your last. So that's good. Jumping in Team Fortress 2 very much recommended, because you do maintain your speed for movement and stuff like that. And spy here, and we're just gonna burn. You're not gonna bother doing anything else. You will see a lot of pyros try to do like funky air blasts and stuff like that. This soldier actually runs out of rockets, and that's good for me. So if you can count to 4, you're good as a pyro, because you go 1, 2. Engineer, boosh! Thanks for the heal, bro. Because that's what the Powerjack gives me. And that's very nice. So we're going to assist our team here in this little push. There's a bunch of players on the point. I'm not afraid. I go in first. Hey, soldier, I reflected your rockets. Give me some of that. Oh, okay. Don't go. Okay, go back to spawn. I'll just go. Okay. Reflect. There's a bunch of reds. Reflect. Send it back. Kaboosh. Burn, mini sentries, and victory! Man, we're fucking good at this game. Ah. We are the best, no protest. So I think, yeah, this is the last one by me, and then we're going to go out to user-submitted replays. So this is my last one. This is my finale, if you can call it that. I like to open with my own replays just to establish the basics, and then look at other plays. Because when I review my own plays, I always know what I'm thinking. But with other players, I don't do that as much. So now I'm using the flare gun. I swapped around. I played with this a lot, and I figured I got best results when I used a shotgun. Just a standard shotgun is when I felt I got the best results with my style. So this is on Upward, very sniper-friendly map. Not the best pyro map, because pyros are good in like small areas, corridors, not open doors. But this map is pretty much open door all the way. And there's a bunch of sentries, and as a pyro you can't really do all that much against sentries except run into them and die, and maybe you can get some lucky positioning if the sentry is poorly placed. We also don't have a medic. We are very sniper heavy because the players on our team realized that, hey, snipers are good, let's have a lot of those. So we're just gonna go shoot him and try and get the there's a pyro. Okay, we're gonna get the sentry. Flare gun. Okay, shoot. And shoot. And okay. Okay, let's get the sentry. Okay, let's get the sentry. 1, 2. What the? Ah! That was close. That is what you call pure reaction time, okay? Knowing the sounds. Because if I didn't know that was a sign of the taunt, I would have get fucking taunt killed, alright? It's the same with the, like, Team Fortress 2 gives you so much information with sound, and if you ignore that sound, you're gonna die. And I think most pub players wouldn't even, like, they're so focused on, like, killing the sentry. But, like, actually when you play, if you're firing at something static, like, you don't have to look at it because the sentry doesn't move. So you can just look, like, on the side of the screen. Like, you look here. Like, you go... Like, you aim, but you also look at the sides and you listen. So... Boosh! Yeah, nice. Nice. Very much recommended to, like... I always play. I play Team Fortress 2 and I listen to music. I think everybody does. But if you like, or I watch what podcasts or YouTube videos when I play, because I have like 2 monitors. Because I have one over here, which is where you guys are at, and then I have the game, you know, here. But you will always play a lot better if you have nothing disturbing you, which means you're not talking with anyone, you're not listening to anything. All your focus is on the game, and I think if you're like the player who always listens to music and you always like do something else while playing Team Fortress 2, try to just go absolutely try hard, like on a pub or whatever. Don't talk, turn the voice chat off, and just focus on playing the game. And this is user submitted. This is, I think this is Radical. Yeah, Radical 24. He's going to be using the Powerjack here on Granary. Very much recommended to use this. Keep in mind, you do run faster than a medic. 115% is the speed for you, and I was told in the chat 107 for a medic, which is which seems to be correct. But you do take the additional damage. He's going to be using the back burner. I use air blast a lot, so back burner is not really for me. But if you're the pyro who has kind of like gotten used to going around on the back without the Powerjack, and now suddenly you can with the Powerjack, suddenly back burner Powerjack is very viable for you because you can run faster around. So like you kind of shifted your style to not be as air blast heavy, like reflecting and stuff like that. You just more pure positioning and just hitting people from the back and no fancy work, just standard run at the back, burn them in the ass burner, which is also called. You can also do reflects, but it takes a lot. Nice shot there. Let's look at that again, because that was really good. I'm saying, you see. Nice. He's using the squirt shot for the push, so I guess he wants to compensate for the air blast. So reflect and air shot. Boom! Boosh! Takes out the soldier as he craters to the ground on fire, and I think he is... Like this pause, I'm not sure if it's the pause where you taunt or the pause where you hit replay, because hitting replay means you have to press F6 if that's your standard key, and then hit enter to save. So it's basically like, oh, I got a good kill. Wait, let me just let go of my mouse or let go of your movement hands and just press F6 and then enter. So often, like, we've seen this in a lot of submitted replays where players do something really amazing and then they stop and then they keep going. That's like the replay save moment. So he all puts the heavy on fire. He's assisted with the team, and he's now on the flank side. Scout comes in really close, burns him. Doesn't do the air blast because it doesn't have to, because the scout just runs into a wall. And now, once again, they're going on the flank. Very nice positioning here, considering he's using the back burner. Because a lot of players, they use the back burner as the regular flamethrower, and then they don't get as good results as they do with the regular flamethrower, and then they just go, oh, back burner sucks. Which is pretty much a lot of the reactions for other players. Like, they use it like something else, and then when it doesn't work, they go like, well, this thing fucking sucks. I think like the only soldier, like the only soldier that doesn't have that, you know, there's only one soldier in the game. Class. It's one of each team. But regardless, is that all rocket launchers work the same, more or less. You aim at something and then you shoot. That's like it. and then it's just like a different speed of the rockets and how many rockets you have. But all the like, if you're good with one rocket launcher, you're pretty much good with all the rocket launcher because they're so similar. They're not really different. I think Beggar's Bazooka is like as different as you go. So we see him as soon as he's running around, up with the Powerjack. Can't stress that enough. When you're just running around, repositioning yourself, out with the Powerjack. And we're gonna be seeing someone who doesn't do that later. You can guess who it is. His name starts with G and ends with Ozizan. So you can guess who that is. So he's just looking for an opening. As a pyro, you can't just really rush out like you can as a heavy scout, devilman soldier, because you don't have that range. You're like if you look at the flame range from the pyro, like the player has to be there in order for you to do stuff, and here it's kind of long. And it's finally here with this team. Yeah, there's like just 3 pyros here on the other team. Gets a lot of kills, does the air blast. It's very expensive to use the air blast on this thing. Like, how much does it cost? It's like 150% of 20, so it's like 60 or something? Or 50, I don't know. I don't fucking remember. I haven't used the back burner in a real long time because it's not really my kind of weapon. I can't say its appeal, and how it's used is just not my style. Yeah, people saying 50, so yeah, that's correct. Nice scorch shot there hitting the medic. He's using all of his unlocks to their effect. It seems like Radical here is very much used to the back burner scorch shot, because with the scorch shot episode, it's kind of like a ranged compression blast, and with the back burner, you don't really, you don't have that many compression blasts because you have 4 and then you're out. You can't burn anyone anymore either. But the back burner is all about getting behind people, and using the Powerjack to get behind people is very good. So this is a very, I would say, thought out theoretically loadout, where it's very good. You can see like some thoughts have gone into this, like, well, I'm going to use this weapon and it works this way, and then I'm going to have another weapon that kind of negates what this weapon doesn't have, and then I'm going to add a third weapon that kind of like enhances the first weapon's like main capability, which is burning people from the back and then allowing yourself to get in position and burn them from the back. So now we're going to look at another user submitted replay. It's not Radical, it's someone else, I think, I hope. He's going to be using the Degreaser, because a lot of players have been using Degreaser. This is actually, I think this is Source Sash. No, or is it Rob Boss? Let's see. It's Rob Boss. It's not this, like, fuck this guy. Like, this is the man. GP Rob Boss. He's the boss, because it's in his name. So he's going to be using, like, once again, running around at the speed of sound with the Powerjack. Because rhymes. Which we're so good at in the opening with my very nice song, new title. And he's using the shotgun as well. Degreaser is kind of like Puff and Sting, so I think Degreaser works the best with Extinguisher, because you kind of just light them on fire and then you just whack them. And they take 192 or 98 damage or something like an absurd amount of that. But with this thing, he's not crit based, so you kind of have to do what you have. But if you have a really good shotgun aim and really good game feel with the shotgun, you can absolutely do this. I remember when I used the Degreaser at first, I was kind of like, I put them on fire and then I hit Q and I shot. So during the downtime between the shots of the shotgun, I burned them. So it's like burn, shoot, burn, shoot, burn, shoot, burn, shoot. I never got a full like graph or a test about how much damage that was. But that's really interesting, and I think I'm going to do like maybe an episode on that later, where you just go Degreaser shotgun and you just burn, shoot, burn, shoot, burn, shoot, and you see like how much a DPS it is. People in the chat saying it's 195 for the crit on the Extinguisher. So that's probably correct. So there you go. Takes out the spy, heals himself a little bit. So moving up. This speed bonus was actually part of the Pyro set before, but it got removed in the patch where they removed a lot of the set bonuses, which I very much agree with, because I don't think the set bonuses was like really anything good. Like, I think cosmetic set bonuses is fine. Like, you just get like a little tombstone that's like very distracting for new players. So it's like, is that a tombstone? Did someone die? Did someone die in this game? That's kind of sad. Did they have a funeral? Did they play the sad music with the trumpets? Oh! Burn the medic, out with the shotgun, take out the medic, and run away. The set, like people in the chat are discussing the set. It gave you like faster move speed, and you took like 10% more damage of bullets, I think, or explosives or something. I don't remember. It was something like that. It wasn't that broken. It was one of the better sets, but like you needed a hat, and I don't think like giving you a bonus, like if you have all the items and you don't have the hat, and then someone who has the hat, it's not really fair, especially for free-to-play players who couldn't even craft hats. That was like my big deal. Is like, especially with the Sydney Sleeper, where you had like the headshot immunity. Like it would bring you down to 1 health, but if you have 1 health and you got shot in the head, you died. But I don't feel it was like a very good way of doing that, because, you know, for free-to-player, he has like Darwin Danger Shield, he had the Bushwhacker, he had, you know, all the weapons, Sydney Sleeper, Bushwhacker, Darwin Danger Shield, but not the hat, just because you're free-to-play and you can't really get the hat. And you play against someone who's not free-to-play, they will have like an advantage over you, and I feel like that's not really good. But we saw the replay right now while I was just talking about other shit. That was a Degreaser shotgun. Works. It works if you can do that. Very flanky. Very nice. Let's see if we can get the next replay here. Let's see, that was number 9. So I'm going to try and find number 10. This one is entitled, What Replay is Not to Send? First of all, look at the length. It's like 4 minutes and 17, and it has a reasonable amount of kills, but yeah. So this episode is about the Powerjack more than anything else. Like, when I want you to submit replays, I want you to have the qualifications, which is either you show, there's like 3 things you can show when you submit a replay. You can show like how awesome an item is, you can show how incredibly bad an item is, or you can just show mediocrity where it doesn't really matter if you use it or not. Those are like the 3 things I always look for in a replay. So when we do something of a melee weapon, melee which isn't used all that much, it's not a primary, it's not a secondary, it's like a melee, it's like the least used weapon slots percentage-wise. Maybe not for Pyro. If you use the Extinguisher, you use it quite a lot, but in general, melee weapons are not much used, and that's why I haven't like covered all of the melee weapons. My focus has been mainly primary and secondary weapons. So when we do an episode on a melee weapon, overuse the melee weapon. It's like, yeah. So here we have Gozazan, our hero of the day. I'm gonna fast forward this bitch. So let's count how many times he uses the Powerjack in the Powerjack focused episode. This is what not to submit. So okay, he's running. Okay, hasn't really used the Powerjack yet, so he's still running, and he burns. Okay, haven't used the Powerjack yet. So he's just running. Haven't really. Okay, okay, that was three times. Okay, he's used the Powerjack 3 times. And he's just running around with the flamethrower out. Not using the Powerjack, how he should. Still running around, not using the Powerjack. Should be using the Powerjack. Still running around with the Degreaser, should be using the Powerjack. Because when you have the Degreaser, you have faster weapon switch, so I would assume you can just run with the Powerjack whenever you're not burning people. But yeah, still running with the Degreaser and the Powerjack. Not using the Powerjack, just using the reverse shooter, reserve shooter, and the Degreaser, using them more. And then getting Uber coming in and just burning some shit, and not using the Powerjack. So he's going to be running up here and not be using the Powerjack, and going to be burning some stuff over here, and going to be running back and not using the Powerjack. And he's going to run back to the cart, also not using the Powerjack. And going to be shooting a bunch of stuff, and reflecting some weapons, and not be using the Powerjack. And still running around, and you know, this is a Powerjack related episode, and still not using the Powerjack. And there was a lot of these replays. I'm just showing one. And I don't think like the weapon switch for Degreaser and Reserve Shooter, they don't stack, but you get slightly faster weapon switch if you use both of them. And yeah, finally, oh, he died, but he used the Powerjack 3 times briefly in a 4-minute replay. Like, don't send that kind of stuff. Like, I don't get anything out of it. So let's look at something that's not related to Powerjack, but kind of like to give Gozazan a little boost, because he has glimpses of awesomeness like everybody else. Gozazan sent me 5 cents, I think, and I used 3 replays. They don't stack as much as they do individually. They stack a little bit. So here we actually used the Powerjack properly, and oh, sentry! How will we ever deal with this? Okay, back to the cart. Okay, the sentry is still there. Utilize the power of thought to get this thing. Alright, so it's close to the wall on the other side. So, okay, can't attack it head on. You can't. It's still there. Guess I'll just try and burn it. Yeah, there we go. Burn, 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 baby bird. It's a disco inferno. I'm burning your sentry. You're gonna run out of metal before I run out of ammo. Boosh, yeah, die, you fucking engineer asshole. Yeah. Gonna burn your dispenser too. What do you think about that? Yeah, so that was pretty good. And then he just immediately dies to a soldier in the stairs. Woo! So let's look at some proper play from Gozen. Not gonna give him a lot of crap because he does submit a lot of replays, which takes a lot of effort. Just wish you would have been a lot more selective with your replays and not submit so much mediocrity where things. So he's finally using the Powerjack here. This is proper usage. You use it when you run out. We've seen that on other 5CP maps. You use it to run fast. And this is Process, a map that I really like. I think there's a couple of areas on this map that isn't the best. It might be fixed in the future, but so far I'm liking this map. A bunch of players going to be burning them, and like when there's this many targets, using the air blast isn't really all that useful. And using the Powerjack to get even closer. We have Gozen. He has mastered it. So now if he switched to the Powerjack, he could actually have whacked the medic there, because the medic was actually really close. And you do run faster than a medic, which means if you're chasing somebody as a pyro and you use the Powerjack, you will catch up to every class except Scout. Unless the Scout is using the what was I saying? Yeah, you will catch up to everything unless this Scout with the Babyface's blaster.
Our control point is being captured.
Babyface's blaster, because you run really quickly. Which is nice. Nice. You don't run that much faster, but you will catch up to them. And keep in mind, you don't run as quickly backwards as you run forward. And check your back for spies, even when you're a pyro, because shit happens. Oop. We're good? Okay, we're good. So that was some proper play. Very nice play there. That is very nice usage there. Could probably have used it to get a little bit closer, because this weapon really, like if you use the jump thing that I mentioned, like you jump and then you switch weapons while in the air, you still have full momentum, full speed, and you can still get close, and Pyro is all about getting close, so don't overuse the compression blast as much, because I think it's like a habit of Pyros where like, yeah, I'm going to burn you slightly and then I'm going to push you away so I can't burn you anymore. That's kind of like a misconception a lot of Pyros have, unfortunately, when they realize that, hey, air blast, I can do this. Yeah. Sometimes it's just better to just burn them and not do anything. Because you do have a pretty high damage output, actually. So it's important to keep in mind. So hopefully, during this episode, you have gotten an idea how to use the Powerjack. If you are a Pyro that are not afraid to die, like Brave Sir Robin, boosh! Taking down the Devilman, getting that additional health, and allowing you to get even closer. And there's another spy, which got away because he was very convincing with that paper-thin mask. Yeah. So that's the Powerjack, more or less. It's pretty much up to you how you decide to run it. If I were you, I would recommend using standard flamethrower and maybe shotgun or reserve shooter. That was what I got the best results with, but a lot of players still like to use the degreaser for faster weapon switch. You do less afterburn and less burn as well, I think. I don't recall exactly because they changed that stat, but degreaser does less damage than the flamethrower overall. So that's something to keep in mind. Here, once again, using it to run around. Very nice, indeed. And, yeah. Stuff all around. The laggiest demo man of all. Gets shot so hard he explodes. Also the nice reflex on the soldier. It's like what I mentioned, like just blasting him away. I think it would be better to just burn him at this point, because I think he actually gets away. Which is really unfortunate. Spending all that air blast and just, like, yeah, you can get away, you can escape. That is no problem at all. Let me have a medic. Saving the medic. I think, like, if it's a spy, just burn him. try to ease down on the compression blast. And there's stuff all around. Let's see if we can just speed this up. And using Powerjack for movement, saving the medic, grabbing the health pack, reflecting the rockets, doing the standard pyro business. I'm gonna be attacking eventually, capping the point with the rest of his team, teaming up, using the Powerjack for movement, getting on the flank, getting there really quickly, coming from the side, and winning the round! And hitting helpless people, because that's fun. They still yield you frags. So that has been the Powerjack episode, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this. So in order to summarize this, it's good when you use it nearly all the time. It is not a replacement for the extinguisher. If you use the extinguisher, you have a way higher damage output, but with this thing, if you get the kill, you have a higher survival output, and it allows you to get in closer, faster. You can chase down medics easier. Stuff like that. I don't think it's overpowered. I think it's perfectly balanced. Although I don't think the fire axe is perfectly balanced, because I think that one is kind of bad compared to like the extinguisher and the Powerjack and stuff like that. So something needs to happen. So that's the episode. Let's try and figure out what we'll be doing for next week. As I bring up the thing here. I'm just going to see what items are interesting from the... Like, we're still doing the major overhaul items. But I'm not sure if everything is as interesting. Like the L'Étrangers, like you get longer cloak, and it's like it's just longer cloak. Just there's like nothing really to add. You can just be more sneaky. Yeah, here we go. Future topics. Let's see. Well. Like, if we do the quick fix, it will be the third time we do the quick fix. And every episode is going to be from a different patch. So I think we're not going to do the quick fix. I think we're going to do a more open episode this time. A more, another one, which is... Alright. A couple of weeks ago, I did Help Your Team, which was just me playing on pubs, helping my team, I think. It wasn't anything more than that. So I want to do the same thing, only that this time you are only allowed to play support classes. You can use whatever loadout you want, but you have to either play sniper, medic, or spy, and support your team. You can't go around and not help your team, like go around as a spy and just get kills left and right. You kind of have to get the right kill as your team is pushing, and as a sniper you have to like get the right pick. You can't just like run in the front and just quick scope all the time and just do a bunch of damage. You have to get the kill, and you have to get the right kill at the right time. And also as a medic, it's just very much support everybody, not just like, I'm just going to heal the best player on the team and just uber him like constantly. No, it's heal everybody, support everybody. It's kind of like teamwork. And that's kind of like why I didn't do it the last time, where we never didn't play any support classes, but this time we're only going to play support classes, and we're going to help our team. So that is going to be the topic for our next time. Just help your team as either medic, sniper, or spy. You can use whatever loadout you want, but keep in mind, if you're supposed to help your team, like as a sniper, maybe Girardi would be the best choice, and as a medic, maybe Medigun would be the best choice, stuff like that. So I want to see a lot of success stories. I don't want to see a lot of failure. I want to see a lot of awesome. And stuff like that. So if you're a spy, let's say if you camp for like a minute and then you kill the engineer as the push is happening, that's great. So that's the topic for next time. Help your team as a support class.